Hello and welcome to our channel. In today's video, we'll be covering the latest news on Finland's entry into NATO. Stay tuned for accurate and well-researched information. If you find our content valuable, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Your engagement is important to us. Finland has become the 31st member of NATO's security alliance, doubling the length of member states' borders with Russia. The Finnish foreign minister handed the accession document to the US Secretary of State, who declared Finland a member. Finland's accession is a setback for Russian Vladimir Putin. He had repeatedly complained about NATO expansion before its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that by attacking his neighbor, the Russian leader had triggered exactly what he intended to prevent. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov warned that Russia would be watching closely what happens in Finland, describing the NATO expansion as a violation of our security and our national interests. Finland shares a 1,340 kilometers (832 miles) eastern border with Russia, and after the outbreak of war in Ukraine, Helsinki chose the protection of Article 5 of NATO, which says that an attack on one member is an attack on all. In effect, this means that if Finland were invaded or attacked, all NATO members, including the US, would come to its aid. The invasion of Russia provoked a rise in Finnish public opinion towards NATO membership, with 80% in favor. "It's a great day for Finland," said Finnish President Sauli Niinistö, proclaiming a new era for his country. "Finland would be a reliable ally and its membership would pose no threat to anyone," he said. "Security and stability are the elements we feel strongly about. If people can live in secure and stable circumstances, that is the basic element of a happy life. It will make Finland safer and NATO stronger," Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said earlier, describing it as a proud day for him and the alliance. President Putin had a stated aim of invading Ukraine to get less NATO along its borders and not more members from Europe. He is getting the exact opposite. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said he was tempted to say that is perhaps the only thing we can thank Putin for, because he has once again precipitated something he claims he wants to avoid with Russia's aggression. Finland brings with it a well-equipped and trained active armed force of around 30,000 men. It can also draw on 250,000 reserves. It also poses a challenge for NATO to help keep its long border with Russia secure, but it is already being factored into NATO's latest defense plans to keep the alliance safe. The Kremlin said Russia was being forced to take countermeasures to ensure its own security, tactically and strategically, but stressed it never had falling out with Helsinki in the way Ukraine has become anti-Russian. Meanwhile, Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said on Tuesday that Russia's Iskander-M short-range ballistic missile system has been delivered to Belarus and is capable of carrying both nuclear and conventional weapons. Some Belarusian fighter jets were also capable of carrying nuclear weapons, he said. Jens Stoltenberg said that NATO has yet to see any changes in Russia's nuclear posture that would require any change in the alliance. He added that there would be no NATO troops stationed in Finland without the Helsinki government's consent. NATO will now have 7 members in the Baltic Sea, further isolating Russia's coastal access to St. Petersburg and its small enclave of Kaliningrad. Thank you for joining us today to learn about Finland's potential entry into NATO. We strive to provide accurate and well-researched content for our viewers. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think Finland joining NATO would have positive or negative implications? What potential challenges do you foresee? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We value your insights and opinions. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more updates, and hit that notification bell to stay informed. Until next time, take care and keep the conversation going.